Today, let us discuss about the first article of the Constitution, which reads, India, that is Bharat, shall be a union of states. It has two components. India, that is Bharat, which states the name of this country, and the other part of this article says, shall be a union of states. That shall be the characteristics of this country. Name of this country and the characteristic of this country are both combined into the first article of the Constitution. India, that is Bharat, shall be a union of states. So I will also make two videos separately to explain what is meant by India, that is Bharat, and what is meant by it shall be union of states. Now let us discuss what is meant by India, that is Bharat. Indian constitutional framers have given us the largest constitution in the world. The so-called leaders, Indian leaders of the first generation, most of whom participated in Indian freedom struggle, were busy in formulating their political parties, registering it under the Representation of the People Act 1951. Their goals, ideals, strategies, they were busy in doing that from 1950 onwards. Amassing of the required paraphernalia, it appears they have lost sight of so many issues of the Constitution which are very important. As a result, the Constitution has gone astray. American Constitution is hardly 20 pages. There are so many other countries which have about 20 to 30 pages of Constitution. India has the largest Constitution with 395 articles and 8 schedules, which runs to nearly 300 pages. What is use of writing such a huge Constitution unless you follow it, unless you respect it? I do not mean to say that Indian Constitution is very lagging on any count. That is not only the largest Constitution, that is also the best Constitution in the world. But unfortunately, none had the comprehensive idea of the Constitution. Let us consider the very first article in which India is said to be Bharat. India, that is Bharat. Why this was said? No person or place will have two names. They will have only one name. Is this India or Bharat? They have used the words both India and Bharat only once in the first article. After that, several hundreds of times, this land was referred to as India only. If you want to call this land India, why this you mentioned the name Bharat at all? After attaining independence from the British, all the colonial partners have adopted their cherished names like Pakistan, Singapore, Malaysia, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Bangladesh, etc. So many countries have adopted their cherished names which suggest their past history, glory, and the pride of netizens of that country. Then what has happened to India? The word India suggests is a British relic. It suggests our slavery of successive generations to several people. The word Bharat denotes your ancient glory, past history of your knowledge, literature, art, culture. There were so many rishis and saints. There were great scientists like Aryabhatta, Charaka, Chanakya, Vedavyasa, Valmiki. Despite having so much of socio-cultural heritage to be proud of. We have relinquished all that and were prepared to call be Indians or India. The word Bharat evokes lot of lore of yore that belongs as much to Hindus as much to Muslims, Christians, Sikhs, Jains, and everybody. Or the glory of this country or the history of this country has nothing to do with religions. It is also necessary for us to call this country Bharat. There were so many occasions in Indian Constitution, they wrote something, it was understood by successive generations in a different fashion. Unfortunately, the Constitution is in English, and the courts are struggling to decipher the interpretations of the words used in it. When it comes to the question of interpretation, each has his own interpretation. Finally, what people can perceive is only the result of these interpretations. In my opinion, India is facing all sorts of problems like poverty, gap between haves and the have-nots, clashes between religions, regions, languages, castes, international terrorism, internal extremism. We are facing all sorts of problems, despite there being one of the best constitutions in the world. I am sure all these things are happening only because we ignored that best constitution. The word Bharat denotes a lot to its denizens regarding their past glory, culture, knowledge, traditions, and history. It is evocative of lot of lore of yore, of which each Bharatiya would be proud. It reminisces every citizen the names of several native kings and their rulings, saints and their preachings, monuments and their glories. Unless Dr. Ambedkar is satisfied about the use of word Bharat, the same could not have been used in the very first article of the Constitution. We gained independence from the British in 1947. What does independent mean? It's not freedom to commit suicides, or it is not entitlement for rations, pensions, and reservations. It is something more. After independence, no conscious effort was made to re-establish the Bharatiya national identity or Bharatiyata after gaining independence. The centuries-old Bharatiya culture and knowledge, which was suppressed over thousands of years by foreign rulers, has been dealt with a death blow instead of nurturing it with care and compassion. Native leaders of this country destroyed Bharatiyata 100 times, 1,000 times more than what the foreign rulers did during the last 1,000 years. If nationalism does not flourish, there would not be freedom struggles in future, even if this country loses independence again. Bharat will not be a nation if there is no fraternity and individual dignity in it, as enshrined in the preamble. The preamble assures us individual dignity. If your ancestry is insulted, if it is ignored, what is your individual dignity? You say that I belong to so and so culture, so and so country, so and so history. If you don't have any that, We are not lavaris. We have greatest heredity. The feeling of Bharatiyata will continue to influence its people wherever they live, in America or any other state. On Indian festivals, they decorate their children with Indian attire and make them perform Indian art forms. They feel gratified. This is what is Bharatiyata is. In case of a country, the geographic area is its body. Sovereignty is its life. Feeling of Bharatiyata or nationalism that is nurtured in the hearts of the people is its soul. Bharati is the rich and varied cultural heritage evolved over times immemorial. We should adhere to it with veneration and pride. It does not relate to any religion. A person's religion may be changed, but his nationality cannot change. Wherever you go, even a Muslim goes to an Islamic country, he will be treated as an Indian Muslim. If an Indian Christian goes to Britain, he will be treated as an Indian Christian. But he will not be treated at par with the native citizens there. Even if the rulers of this country lose their power to rule, the people should not lose the feeling of Bharatiyata or the nationhood. That is their personal asset, not any political. Especially the point I was driving to convince you is that Indian constitution is not only the biggest but also the best constitution in the world. Several people, several committees have written it, compiled by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar as chairman of the drafting committee. And my grouse is that having written such a large constitution by so many committees, they have lost sight of what they have written in it, that they have ignored the basic tenets of the constitution and pushed the country into lawlessness. I request you to kindly subscribe, share and comment on my videos. I will be divulging similar information almost every article of the constitution. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you.